All right, now Kyle, you can say
TGTV.
TGTV. Yeah.
Go.
Also, Carl, here I'm showing my OBS screen really quickly. I have my. I'm just showing up my green screen. So here it is. This is all you can see now behind me.
Wow.
Yeah. Only problem is that light is
That
where.
light, yeah.
That's where my only room light is. So that's definitely something I have to work on. But I think this is fine for now. I mean, I'm not gonna use it for a lot of things as of right now without a proper setup. But we're going into Metroid Prime. Continuing with that whole thing. And then now I'll switch it over for you guys, the OBS. As long as that works. It doesn't seem like it's working. Gosh darn it. It's frozen again. Give me a second.
Oh my gosh, you still have Muscle March on your menu.
Yeah, I mean, I never deleted it.
You love to see it.
Yeah.
I just like seeing on your Wii menu every time.
It,
Also, Punch Out.
Yeah, I got the. I think I don't know why. How did I get that? I don't know.
I never did play that. It is on the Switch collection NES games, so I'll probably do that at some point.
Is it?
I'm thinking of doing a thing because a lot of those SNES and like NES era games are such like you can play them in one session. You know what I mean? So I might just like.
Yeah, no,
I might just play with my fortune cookie on backlogger and just draw a random NES or SNES game and just play it that day.
Oh yeah, no, that's what I've been doing, trying to get through my backlog, cause like even the longest games like Dragon Quest and like Final Fantasy and stuff, those can be beat.
Zelda.
Yeah, those can be beat in like literally a few hours. So it's like and so like that was like back in the day would be like 60 hours like nowadays. But yeah, you could do them all in one sitting, and like I can beat Mario in like an hour or two if I really push myself.
Yeah.
And then there's like a bunch of it's so they're so short. I mean,
I definitely got to try some of those games for the Yeeting Controllers podcast because some of the ones included in the Switch bundle or on my Famicom as well. They got games like Ninja Gaiden.
Oh,
and
God.
Super Ghouls and Ghosts, like those really difficult NES era games.
Oh my god, I want to try beat Ghouls and Ghosts, but that's gonna be annoying.
I don't think I've ever even seen that one played before. I've seen gameplay of Ninja Gaiden before, like years ago. Like I remember watching like Proton John is actually like super good at the Ninja Gaiden games because he like grew up on them.
Yeah, I played it a little bit, but not a whole bunch. I
think Nintendo Capri Sun is pretty good at them too, but I'm not sure. He's just good at NES games in general because he's like way older than the rest of that group. So
yeah. You like the music,
knows
Carl?
those games better.
Yeah, I love Ninja Gaiden's music
okay.
on the NES. Like specifically the first one. Like, it's so good.
I mean, it's in the Switch bundle, as Kyle said. So, whoops, wrong button. I need to remember what buttons are buttons. But I know that let's see, what was let's see. I played a little bit of Ninja Gaiden. What was the other game you mentioned, Kyle?
Super Ghouls and Ghosts.
Oh yeah,
on Super Nintendo.
Yeah, I saw AVGN beat that, and he had some tips on how to beat it.
Get the knife. Get the knife. Get the knife.
Yeah, he basically just keeps repeating "get the knife" for any newcomers because.
I mean, it's so good. It's such a good weapon.
It is, but it's just like it's one of those things. Like if you ever were, like. How would I like if you were like playing that for the first time? How would you know that?
Trial and error.
It's one thing that's unfortunate is that among those bundle games, Battletoads isn't included in there. I mean, the thing about that game is that like I've seen gameplay of Battletoads. I've never actually played it myself. The way I feel about that game, just my impressions from watching it, is I feel like if that game wasn't so infuriatingly difficult, it would actually like it's like a solid looking platformer. Like
oh yeah.
It's got a pretty good variety of gameplay mechanics for a game made in like 1990. Like it's got like racing levels, beat 'em up style levels, platformer levels. Like if the difficulty of that kind of game was toned down, like it would be an enjoyable game to play.
Battletoads.
Battletoads.
I mean, there's a new Battletoads coming out.
Is that actually a thing, or is
Yep.
that like a meme?
No,
Yeah,
it's
it's
it's brand new.
Oh, It's just that Battletoads has been the meme since like the mid 2000s or something.
Yeah, it
About
has
making a new
been.
Battletoads game.
Yeah,
Maybe GN.
yeah, but yeah, but let's see, what was it? I mean, what you can do is get infinite lives. So like no matter what, like you die, you can still beat it without like, I guess in a sense, fully going backwards to the beginning. But even then, that's like not the true Battletoads experience. But then
Yeah, I
again,
think there's checkpoints and stuff, but the checkpoints get less generous in the later levels.
well, it's still like if you get a game over though, you still would need to start from the very beginning. It's that brutal. And it's just like, yeah, I get it. Back in the day for NES games and some SNES games, it played with the idea of arcade styles. So basically, you only have limited amount of lives, and if you get a game over, you have to start all the way over again.
Yeah,
Continues.
You'll be hearing at least 1 or 2 games on my Yeet Games list that kind of fall under that category.
Yep. I mean, that's basically almost any NES games you can think of, like all
Yeah,
NES
that's kind of what games were like at the time, because back in the earlier days of home consoles, they basically were just like kind of meant to be like ports of arcade style games.
Yeah, and only very few in the NES or Famicom era had batteries.
Yeah, they did have the hardware to save games back then, so really only like Zelda and stuff could pull that off.
I don't know if Final Fantasy has a battery. Maybe
And-
it does.
The original Final Fantasy, I'm actually not sure.
Well, I mean, then there's a first Final Fantasy in America at least.
On the original Zelda, they definitely had to compromise on hardware because that game could only like. It was known for having spelling issues and character issues and stuff because they could only fit capital letters, and I think the original Japanese game was only in katakana
Really?
for the writing, which is a pretty unusual way to write things in Japanese.
No, actually, I think it is. I think it did include hiragana. It's just that in the Japanese version, it wasn't on a standard cartridge. It was on the Famicom disk system
Oh,
exclusively for the longest time, because they used it for the extra, for the extra memory, and for the extra sound channels. Because if you listen to the Famicom version of Zelda 1 compared to the NES version, it's really different.
Zelda 1 to the NES to the SNES, right?
Yeah.
No, NES and Famicom.
Yeah, I don't remember this entirely, but I have read about it before because Legends of Localization put out like a book about like the localization process of the first Zelda game, and just like the hardware and language challenges, and that was also back in the era when they didn't have like professional translators for like localizing games. That's why a lot of goofy typos and weird inconsistencies exist.
I mean, there's also that.
Like,
as
for
well
example,
as...
that instruction manual thing about that one anime that you're supposed to yell into the controller. Like, they translated that in the instruction manual, even though that mechanic didn't exist in the Western release.
That's for the Poe. No, not Poe.
Poe's voice, right? Something like that.
Something
something like that. Yeah, because the second controller on the Famicom, instead of having a start and select button, it had a microphone.
Which they took out in the American. I mean, there's also the fact that they also didn't have professional English voice actors back in the day for like N64 era stuff. So it's like a lot of those, like, they just use like localizers. Like something like Phoenix Wright, they just use localizers to voice act the little sound bits for the objections and stuff. And it's like even with like Mario Party as well, they did that with Mario, Luigi, Wario. I mean, Wario, like, apparently Wario being German was a lost in translation thing with Nintendo, because that was a thing that was originally intended, but Charles Martinet, when he got the role, was never told to make it a German sound. He was just assumed that it would be Italian. It was a little interesting in that regard.
Yeah, like 80s and 90s stuff with like localizing games is a pretty interesting thing to get into. There was unfortunately it was a limited release of like a Legends of Localization paperback book, so I never got to get a copy of it. But he put out a limited edition book called This Book Be Bad Translation Video Games. And it's just like a paperback of like basically a collection of like some of the worst mishaps of like game translation in the 80s and 90s, and just kind of like analyzing how those sorts of mistakes came about, and like having like a bad translations hall of fame and stuff like that.
That's funny.
So that would include games like Zero Wing, like all your base are belong to us kind of stuff.
Oh, your base. How belong to us?
I am error as well. Well, technically that's not a
That's not a
translation.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not a translation error.
It's not translation error, but everyone thought it was for a longest time.
Until you read the other guy that says, "I am Bagu."
Yeah, but they never properly translated that, unfortunately.
Which is actually hilarious. That's kind of ironic.
It's
Because
like
that's
they,
supposed to be bug.
yeah, they decided to translate I am error, but never buggeru. But I think like they thought it was like a
Bagu.
bugu.
Bagu.
Is this just called
Bagu.
bugu?
Yeah, it's just called Bagu, which
So-
means bug.
Yeah, because that's what the word would be in Japanese. They literally say computer bagu for a computer like
Ah.
glitch or virus.
Then what about error? What would they say?
Era.
Era.
Era. Yep.
Why would they not translate with bug?
No, it's probably just a mistranslation. Because they probably legitimately thought that it was an actual name.
They probably misunderstood what the joke was.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I think
Alright.
that sort of stuff can happen, like probably especially in that era when it's not like they really have like the Japanese team like giving the full script to the game and like explaining the nuances they're going for and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the process of translating games is that they basically just give the translation team or the translator like an Excel spreadsheet with like all these lines of Japanese script
Excel,
and just kind of
Excel back in 1990. No, back in 1980 something.
yeah, you know, or whatever else it might have been, and they basically just got to look at it and translate lines one by one, and like they don't always have the context. I think for a lot of like more recently, like localizers and translators always like take the initiative to like play the game themselves and like figure out what things
Oh, yeah,
are
they
in
have to.
context and like work with it.
They have
Yeah,
to.
but back then they might not have had access to that kind of stuff,
Yeah,
and so they just kind of
standards-
had to wing it.
Standards back then were way different.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
very, very different.
Looking at you, Capcom.
Yeah.
Dr. Huawei. You must defeat them all immediately, Mega Man.
Oh yeah, and also the Mega Man box art.
That's a good question.
Oh yeah, the goofy one was like holding the gun.
Yeah, it's like they
and
literally.
it looks like he's constipated.
Yeah, no, so apparently
Oh, man.
the artist was like, oh, it's like we like because America likes to draw their own box art for almost all new releases. So it's like the artist was like this given a description, a brief description. It's like, oh yeah, it was like what's Mega Man? Oh, it's like a little guy with a gun, and he's blue and gold and stuff. And it's like, wait, what? And it's just like, yeah, that's it. And it's just like, okay. And that's what he drew, basically. That was literally all he was given. And that's why he just says, like, oh, we never... he was, like, he just a gun. He never saw really much, any gameplay. And then that became
He
the
didn't
infamous
see
one.
the Japanese box art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
NES era box art is quite a treat in general.
I mean, Carl, think about it. Like back in the day, like even you said, the communications between Japan and America were really bad.
Yeah,
Like,
it's extremely bad. Like you look no further than Sega. Like Sega of America and Sega of Japan. It's just
yeah,
it was a train wreck.
yeah. It's like you basically like had to basically guess what was gonna be the game about if you did not play it. Slash like the intention, like even like Kirby, for example. That's why the box art is white in America, is because they did not know.
Game Boy.
Yeah, they
the
did
Game
not
Boy
know
version.
it was gonna
Yeah.
be like pink. They thought it was gonna
because
be
There
white.
was an argument. There was an argument between was it Satoru? No, it was Masahiro Sakurai. Was it Masahiro Sakurai?
Yeah, Masahiro Sakurai.
And Shigeru Miyamoto.
Mhm.
Because Miyamoto wanted it to be yellow, but Sakurai wanted pink, and then the localizer said, "You know what? Screw it. It's gonna be white."
Well, that's because
Because
it's just a
that's
Game Boy.
I mean, and yeah, because it looks like that in the Game Boy version.
You're talking
Okay.
about what game?
The GBA,
the-
the original release. No, not the GBA. The original. No.
The original game was the first Kirby game on Game Boy.
Yeah, it's the Game Boy.
Kirby's Dream Land. Okay, yeah.
Kirby's Dream Land, which is in the American box art, is just white.
White. Yep, I've seen it.
Just straight up white.
I mean, I can just imagine all these like translation things or whatever. Like, I just imagine the process where like, because you know I live in Japan and I know how it be, and just like imagining, just like some like employees at Nintendo or Sega or whatever company, and they just walk over to their localization team and just toss like a bunch of like paperclip documents at them. Or no, what they do is they fax like a million sheets of paper to their fax machine, and then on top is a note saying "Yoroshiku onegai itashimasu," and that's like the entire like communication process for the localization.
That's funny.
It's just they fax the entire script over, and the top note, which the phrase I just said, just means like,
It's like
I'm counting on,
please.
like, it's like I'm asking for your support. Like, please do this for me.
It's like imagine like someone giving you like they clasp their hands together, like saying please, and they start bowing.
Oh,
It's that kind of-
are we?
And then if they make like a fatal mistake in the translation, they gotta do that bow where they're like down on the floor.
No,
Like, head
yeah,
down.
Oh,
it goes
yeah.
to bow. Yeah, and it literally looks like the kowtow.
When he says like when you said like please like read this or whatever, I was like thinking of the Bernie meme. It's like please, I need your help.
I'm once again asking for your support.
Yes.
Oh, there are so many good memes of that.
I've seen so many memes of it. Like
I've seen of like him like holding a gun, being like, "I'm no longer asking."
I think I've also seen like stuff like mothers like, please, I ask you for your support again for like getting money and stuff, or asking for, or what the, man, oh wow, I'll get open, close, and personal. Shadow Pirate.
There's one I've seen that's like it's like a reference to this one punk band from the '80s that I've seen on like punk communities before, where it's basically they put like a blue bandana over Bernie's head, which is like what the singer of that band looks like, and then they have him saying, "I am once again asking you for a Pepsi," which is like a reference to their song.
Oh, I'm getting hurt. Okay, I'm getting like humped by this guy. I'm literally getting humped by him.
No, you're getting shimmy shammied.
Yeah, shimmy shammied.
Shimmy shammy right up the face.
It's not Muko Muko time.
Hey man, you already convicted me of being a non-believer. You've made me. I'm a heretic, you see.
Basically.
That's such a weird word. Heretic.
Heretic. Why? Do you not want to be a heretic?
No.
Well, then unconvict yourself in your Phoenix Wright playthrough.
I am getting humped by this guy. I am literally being humped by him. The night is young, Nick.
Night is young. Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. No more.
That's not the correct lyrics.
I know it's not.
The night is young. That sounds funny too, though. The night is young, baby, don't hurt me.
The night is young, baby, don't hurt me.
It was a dark and stormy night. All quiet on the Western Front. Don't hurt me. No more.
I'm spamming my missiles at them now. There we go. Where is that little guy?
What?
There was like a little enemy I want to scan. Oh man. Force field by image. Right. Speaking of like old NES games, there's also a bunch of SNES games I still want to play on my SNES Classic and the other ones. Like, I still need to play like Chrono Trigger. It's still on my list of games I want to play.
That's one that you have a physical copy of, right? That's
Yep.
not on the Western Super NES or the SNES Classic, is it?
No, it actually Chrono Trigger was
Okay.
never re-released other than on the DS. Like that was probably its last re-release. Well, I mean, like there's the Steam
It got
version.
Wii Virtual Console as well.
Was it on the Wii Virtual Console?
Yeah, but it did. Yeah, because I've played it on there. I have
Huh.
it on my Wii, but it came out after the DS port, which is kind of a weird release timing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the DS port is supposedly the definitive edition, but you said it's not really. Which is a little
There are
weird.
some weird scripting changes and stuff.
Wait,
That,
which- Which game?
People don't like Chrono Trigger.
Huh.
But yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you know,
okay.
Chrono Trigger has another kind of funny thing going on at its box art. Going back to that topic, where the famous cover art of that game, like the princess character, Marl, she's like, and I'll be the first to admit that I don't know the official pronunciation of a lot of the character names in that game because I only read them. But
Oh yeah.
anyway, Marl's like shooting fire out of her fingertips onto Chrono's sword. He's like jumping at a monster or whatever.
Yeah.
But that character never learns fire magic in that game. She's like the ice type magic user. And that's like the famous box art of the game. And I think that happened because like the artist who did the art for that game had drawn that picture before like the game was like finished or anything.
That's Akira Toriyama then?
The dude who drew Dragon Ball Z, right?
Yeah. Akira Toriyama
it's the same
did
artist, yeah.
Akira Toriyama did Chrono Trigger and Dragon Quest.
Yeah, I don't think he was made aware of like the elemental type magic or anything like that in the game, so he drew like something that turned out to be inaccurate to the actual game.
Which is funny. Because he had a big influence in the character art and everything.
And then once when one of the heroes get dispatched, hey guys, it's Goku.
There's also like it's fun. Actually, it's funny. Like I remember sending this to Kyle, but there was I found a meme of Chrono Trigger's like box art, but it was instead called Chrono Tigger, with Tigger from Winnie the Pooh on it.
I don't remember seeing this.
I sent it to you. Oh man, I think it's in our DMs, somewhere in our DMs. If you can look for it. But I remember seeing that. There's also like, let's see, that was it. But I also like, I'm just curious if I should try the 3DS or should try the NES one. I don't know.
Of Chrono Trigger?
Yeah, because it's like more definitive on it, and there's like more endings and whatnot.
I think that you really can't go wrong just playing the original game in that NES though. They acted like you might be under the impression that the DS one is the more definitive because it like supposedly added new endings and stuff. But,
yeah,
like,
that's what I'm assuming.
Even then, it's like, I mean, for one thing, if you're only like if you're playing on stream or whatever, like you'll probably find yourself going for the kind of default ending on your first playthrough anyway, and like, I don't know, I definitely like. Don't like think that, you know, just because the DS version is like a port with some new stuff that like the SNES version would feel incomplete or whatever. Because like, dude, Chrono Trigger on the SNES is like one of the most like complete and like amazing JRPGs ever. Like, I think I said this in our podcast or something, but like even though Earthbound is like my favorite game and like my favorite RPG of that era, like somebody who's like, dude, Chrono Trigger's the best one. Like I really couldn't argue with that much.
Yeah.
Because Chrono Trigger is an outstanding game.
I mean, that's what I've always heard, and I've seen some like of those like trailer. Because actually, as a kid, I did not realize that the animated trailers were just animated trailers, not cutscenes from within the game. And so when I saw these animated trailers of the characters like fighting and saving each other, I was like, "Oh, cool! They have this in the game. I want to play it." And sometimes I mean, like, I have never played Chrono Trigger, so I was like, luckily as a kid, I was never fully disappointed in it.
I believe that they, in very like significant points in the story, they show small little anime cutscenes like that in the DS version, but you're not missing out big time by not having that in the SNES game. Mm-hmm. But that I think that is one little thing that they added to the DS port as well, where there's like a little anime style cinematics.
They also added, I think they added in an anime opening.
Mostly during endings.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense with the DS. It's like, it's a much better hardware than the SNES or Super Famicom.
Yeah, but, yeah, I think I've only ever gotten, like, the default ending, like, I've played Chrono Trigger maybe, like, 3 times through, and I always just got the default ending, because there was, like, a pretty big gap between each time that I played it, so, like, I don't know. The thing about that game is that it is pretty long, even if you go for some of like the other endings. Like, without spoiling the premise of the game, a lot of the endings can be done quicker, because basically the way the game works is that like the multitude of endings to the game are basically based on the timing that you choose to go to the final boss, because you have access to it at earlier points in the story.
Oh.
But most of them are really only doable with New Game Plus. Like, because the final boss is so, like, overpowered or whatever, like, it's really only safe to go fight it if you're, like, the level that you would be playing through the whole game. So really the first time you play through the game, it's really only safe and reasonable to choose between, like, I'm pretty sure 2 endings. Maybe, like, there's a little bit more leeway than that, but, like, some of the other ones you really only want to do in a New Game Plus. Otherwise, you're just gonna, like, get your booty kicked and, like, not be able to beat the game that way.
I honestly never tried any New Game Pluses from any game. I don't think I ever did in my life.
I have into most games because I really only, like, I'll beat a game once and then not play it again until, like, years later. And at that point, I'd rather just start from scratch.
That's true.
The Last of Us, I always did New Game Plus when I played that game at successive playthroughs, which... The Last of Us, all that really means is that, like, your weapons will be fully upgraded as they were in the previous playthrough. So when you... I mean, you don't start with those weapons, but when you pick them up at that point in the story, they'll have, like, the full, like, ammo capacity and whatnot.
I mean, that doesn't really change anything to the story. It just makes you go through the game quicker and have an easier time with the harder, like, enemies in a sense with more health and stuff.
That's basically what it is, yeah.
Yeah, this one thing is, like, I don't, like, New Game Plus doesn't really appeal to me because it's the same thing as, like, Master Mode in, like, Breath of the Wild, because I guess that's the closest to New Game Plus I've ever done in Breath.
Kind of. It's not exactly New Game Plus because you don't have, like, every weapon. You
Oh
don't
yeah,
have, like,
no.
all your hearts.
I know it's like it's as I said, like it's kind of like Master Mode, but it's not exactly, and it's still the same thing. It's just like that didn't really appeal to me. Also, the regeneration on that is so bullcrap.
Well, at the very beginning, regeneration is really hard to deal with, but then as you progress through the game, it gets easier to deal with.
Not the final boss. I had still a hard time.
Okay, maybe not final boss, but for the most of the game, like after the beginning.
I still find it BS.
Reason being is because you find better weapons.
Yeah, but I still find it BS. Like the amount of health and everything, and the amount of like all the like all of the amount damage the weapons do. It just doesn't. It just went more annoying. It doesn't. It's like artificial difficulty. It doesn't really change much in terms of the gameplay. It just makes it longer. And that's why it's like, I'm not the biggest fan of it. Like, the same thing with New Game Plus. It would be the only reason why I would do New Game Plus is because I would want to, like, I guess, replay the game, but more in a much quicker sense. That would be like, my reason.
I think Chrono Trigger was one of the first games to have that feature, and I just looked up how many endings there are to the game, and I'm not reading too much into them because I don't want to get spoilers, but you might have to subtract a few from the number I found because there are more in the DS version, but let's say there are like 10 different endings to the original Chrono Trigger. Like, the reason why they have the New Game Plus there is because it just makes it easier to play through the game way faster just because you want to get to the next ending as quickly as possible. Also, James is here.
Hey, James.
Hi, James.
Hey.
I can't hear James when he comes in because of the stream mode. Woohoo.
Yeah.
Well, he badooped.
Well, he didn't badoop in my ear.
Badoof.
Bidoof.
Badoop. When you join the call, he's like, badoop.
No, I know.
Who's better, Bidoof or Dunsparce?
Oh, man.
Oh, that's tough.
Alright, my answer to that question is Shuckle.
Emotos would
That's
be
a tough one.
Emotos would be Boyd, or Alyssa and Mimoto would be like Boyd. Oh.
I'm chuckling at that joke.
I can't choose.
They both have
Oh,
their
no,
significance.
Yanma, dude.
Yanma
Yeah.
still has its uses, but only in like terms of speed.
I did not realize until years later that Yanma is just literally the Japanese word for dragonfly, so they just got lazy as hell with that name.
I mean, with some of the Gen 1 names, can't it also be argued that it's kind of lazy?
What was like some of the Gen 1
Like,
names?
one of them is basically Rock Dew.
One of them is
Oh, yeah.
Fire Lizard.
I mean, there's also the fact that America was super lazy with one of the naming, Seal.
How about Muck?
I would make a joke about it, but I
Yeah,
should.
we're not 12 anymore,
Ekans,
man.
like Ekans and Arbok, and then what about Muck?
I mean, here's the thing. Like, I would say, like, I mean, well, I mean, you could always make the argue that the first generation Pokemon, no one took it too seriously in the sense of, hey, this is a brand new game of capturing monsters. It may not hit well in the West, but whatever. So we kind of just named in the scent like a little bit.
I mean, those two names were like plays of words, though. Like, names like Yanmar are just a Japanese word that's just completely untouched because they know that, like, Western kids won't know what the word means.
Yeah.
Alright, what about Fushigidane?
Who's that?
I like the name Shigidane. That's Bulbasaur.
That's cute.
But the Japanese name for Bulbasaur just means mysterious seed.
Mysterious seed, or
It
it's
also
mysterious,
just
isn't it?
sounds like, yeah, it sounds like, isn't it mysterious? That's kind of what it sounds like.
Which is actually makes sense for what Bulbasaur is.
It's like that Final
remember-
Fantasy X song, Stekidane.
No, I remember where I remember Gaijin Goomba kind of ranted about that.
About Shigidane, or?
Yeah, about the name Fushigidane, because it's like, wait, what?
I mean, Hitokage is a pretty good one, too. I mean,
That's
he
just
said
Fire
that
Lizard.
Charmander's a lazy name, but Hitokage also just means fire lizard, so...
Is that for Charizard?
No,
Charmander.
No, Charmander. I meant. Yeah.
I don't know Charizard's name at the top of my head because I'm not that point
Lizardon. Lizardon. Lizardon.
literally, like, just lizard dragon.
Yeah, lizard monster. I would assume. I thought.
No,
Is it lizard dragon?
I would assume it's like lizard dragon because it ends with don or on,
Dawn.
like dragon.
Dragon Ball.
Dragon Ball.
Dragon Ball. I pull the
No.
balls of dragons.
I'm trying to remember. I keep forgetting what Squirtle's name is in Japanese. It's
Squirtle. Squirtle.
oh gosh, what is it?
Yeah, and
I want to say Anzengame as like a play on the name Kame, which means
Zenigame.
turtle.
Is this Zenigame or?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
for a
Yeah,
second I thought he
Zenigame,
said
and
Shinigami. It was like, wait,
No,
Carl,
no,
wait.
no. And then was it? I think its final evolution is like Kanexu, something like that.
Also not that far on the anime yet. That's how I learned these Pokemon names in Japanese, at least for Gen 1.
The Blastoise
I
one.
believe Ghastly is literally called Ghosto.
Yeah, no, the Blastoise one. I think the first appearance is either the island where it has the sleeping Squirtles and Blastoise, or
Yeah, it's Kanexu.
or it's the one with the Ghastly that is the spirit. Which that was a weird episode.
The Ghastly episode is pretty creepy, yeah.
And it's
Also
just gets like, we're gonna combine.
I mean, it
Fat
captures the
Blast-
tone of Lavender Town well, though, because Lavender Town is super creepy.
It's also like I combine my Blastoise and my Venusaur to make Venustoise. That was a thing. I wonder what they. I don't wonder
I
what they
haven't
was.
seen like the later episodes of the Indigo League anime since I was like in elementary school still, so
Really?
I remember when like Ash finally gets Charizard, but he like doesn't have the proper badges, so the Charizard just like straight up doesn't give a shit. I remember that pretty well.
I mean,
And look what happens
Or
in the movie.
every battle, the Charizard just falls asleep immediately, like a Japanese high school kid.
that's what people were really upset about when he lost in the Indigo League.
Was that Indigo or is that?
Oh no. Ash did lose in the Indigo. It's his worst placement ever.
I mean, he like has thus far in the series, he has not gotten any of the badges fair and square. Really,
the only one. Well,
he has the worst strats.
I mean, he got Raichu.
I guess technically
Pokemon
he beat the
X.
third gym. It wasn't on the first try though, but everything else he just kind of is just like, oh, you made me smile. Here, have a badge. Oh,
X
your
and
friendship
Y
is great.
kinda
Have a
fixed
badge.
it. Like X and Y had some steps in the right direction.
I mean,
So-
all the other ones did it with Ash actually doing work. Actually, yeah, no, Ash's only I don't know about the last match. Like the last one was Team Rocket meddling around. So I'm not completely sure. Also,
Hey,
pretty cutscene.
Moto.
Moto's here.
Imoto. I mean, like, I know he won his match against Koga, and for the first, like, I think that's his only, like, in the Indigo League, I think that was he won at the first try, actually.
Oh, Koga, not Cobra. Okay.
Wait, Koga was in the Indigo League Pokemon League?
Yeah, he's the first gen gym leader, yes.
Oh, you're talking about okay. I thought you were talking about like the Elite Four, and I was
Oh.
like, but Koga wasn't. Yeah.
Yeah, he's not in
Never mind, I
the,
was confused.
yeah, he was not in the Elite Four until Gen
Because
3.
he is in the Elite Four and Gen 2, like in the games, but yeah, like they got kind of weird with that. Where they moved him from being a gym leader to a Pokemon or to an Elite Four member in Gen 2.
Yet in the games he was a gym leader for the type that that was most like was 60% of all Pokemon in all of Generation 1.
Yeah, there are so many psychic types in that gym. It's really funny.
Well, there's also no, he's a poison type.
Yeah, but there were like in that gym in the original Gen 1, there's like trainers that have like Kadabra and Hypno and stuff.
Was that in the anime with Koga?
Yeah, they just used like Toxic and moves like that because there weren't very many like good poison type Pokemon, and they wanted to make the gym more challenging, so they just threw in Pokemon that weren't actually poison type but could learn certain moves.
Interesting.
It is kind of funny how they did stuff like that. Like they also had like that Steel type gym in Gen 2, but like the only Steel type Pokemon were the Magnemite family and Steelix and like Scizor, and so they just made that gym one trainer has a total of like 2 different types of Pokemon.
There's also the fact that actually, did they have Caesar in that gym? I think so. Yeah.
They did not know.
Did they not? I thought the trainer did, not Jasmine.
In the original Gen 2, Jasmine is the only trainer you fight in that gym.
Was it?
Yeah. Yeah, because I just got that past that point of Vietnamese Crystal a couple weeks ago.
Oh, okay. Yeah, then all she had was a Magnemite and a Steelix, and then one
2
other
Magnemites
Pokemon.
and a Steelix, yep.
Yeah.
Is there a trainer in the gym in the Gen 2 remakes? That might be what you're thinking of.
Maybe. I thought there was. But then again, I could
That
be
might
wrong.
be it then.
I could be wrong, though, with the whole thing.
They also introduced Dark types in Gen 2, which was kind of weird because the only Dark type Pokemon that existed were the Houndour family and Murkrow.
Wait, what about... no, not Espeon.
And wait, is there like one? Oh, Umbreon as well.
Umbreon, yeah.
Umbreon, yeah.
But there's very few. Like they brought in those new types, but like hardly had any Pokemon for them.
I mean, isn't it like the fairy type then?
Yeah, Fairy type really tripped me up when I played the Gen 3 remake because I was like, I got like hit by a move and like my Ralts got knocked out, and I was like, wait, what? And I was like, oh, they made this mofo Fairy type. That's not fair, man. I don't know what this is weak against.
You know, why...
I never
okay,
played
so,
Gen 6, so I was never familiar with what Fairy types are.
you know what I don't understand? So, Celebi kind of looks like a fairy, but it's not fairy type. It's grass psychic.
Yeah, no, yeah. I mean...
Like, why?
Yeah. Wait. There was also... wait, I want to look up. What are the fairy type Pokemon? Because there's one that I'm not, like, completely on. Fairy type Pokemon. Oh, Mawile is a fairy type. That's right.
Yeah, Mawile. Yeah.
Wait. Oh, Galarian Rapidash.
Oh, that's right. I forgot they did that. Man, I like Mawile a lot. Mawile was like one of my favorite like meme Pokemon from Gen 3 because it's got like that giant jaw.
All right. Yeah, not counting any of the new forms or not not counting Galarian ones. There's like the Ninetale ones for Alolan, but there's Clefairy, Jigglypuff family, Togepi, Meryl family, Snubbull, Ralts, Mawile, Altaria, which is Mega Altaria.
It's just such a bizarre like list of Pokemon to give Fairy type to.
Mime Junior, Flabebe, Swirlix, Carbink, Klefki. The key Pokemon, really? I did not really think that was a... Alright, well... Zacian, Wait. Oh, yeah, it's sword form. Yes, Zeshion, Milcree, Grimmins, right? Impidimp, Attorney.
What?
Impidimp.
Impotent?
Impidimp
What?
is a fairy. Yeah. I was in the fairy like forest.
No. Okay. When you said impotent, I immediately thought of Feral Imp.
Ah, no. This is actual Pokemon Impidimp.
Oh.
Impidimp. Then there's the mushroom, Mimikyu, Wabombi, Cutiefly. Actually, yeah, the only one that didn't really make sense as a fairy was Maw for me. Like that one did like took me a bit to get like used to and everything. Oh, I was headed there. Oh, my screen went fuzzy. Let's see what we got here. Tower control. Let's see. That was that elevator, and then go down there.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, drawing Emolga is weird as hell.
Mocha was
Like,
one of the simple Pokemon, though, I would consider.
it is simple, but the thing is that what's driving me nuts is the wings. Because it's like a cape, but not at the same time.
Yeah?
Yeah, like, it's like a Batman cape.
Fat Man Cape, really?
Yeah, because okay, so here's the thing. It's not really wings. It's more like a parachute than anything. So, I don't know. It's interesting. Also, I think I got the proportions right this time. Probably would be draw it with a cleaner. Was it with cleaner line art? Just to double check.
A flying pirate? Who told me pirates would be flying? Whoa, explosions. I didn't ask for explosions.
Did you look at them?
Yes, I did.
Damn it, you're not cool.
I never said I was cool.
Cool guys don't look at explode. Or something like that.
I don't know what the phrase is, honestly, with that.
Guys don't look at explosions.
Yeah, I know exactly. Isn't that like James Bond popularized that or something? I would say so. Do. Why do I have to go down another elevator? Come on. Loading screens! You know, it's like talking about Gen 1 Pokemon reminded me of like how of a mess a game it is. And it's like, I actually watched a video about Halo 2. And apparently the Halo 2 engine was a miracle in itself because apparently Bungie put that together half-heartedly.
E3. Yeah, for E3.
E3 and the whole game itself.
Yeah, because if I recall correctly, didn't they restart development?
They were rushed.
Yeah.
And it's like apparently the first original Halo demo actually made a computer go catch a fire.
What?
Apparently, yeah. Like the original Halo Combat Evolved, so they had to explain it everything. Oh look, Carl,
What?
the actual villain of the game. That's named after the whole series is named after.
Man.
It's not called Samus Aran. It's called Metroid.
There's definitely Metroid hats, right?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Like
So officially by Nintendo? I don't know.
officially by Nintendo, I'm pretty sure there's a few. I mean, there's definitely like me costume Metroid hats.
Oh yeah, but I mean, when I'm talking about actual like physical merchandise.
I mean, I'm sure people would totally go for it if they did.
For sure. The baby. Rinse and repeats. Or Metroid other M.
I killed it.
Apparently there's this from MetroidHat.com, and it hasn't been sued out of existence.
What? That looks like literally like a beanie hat with pepperoni slices on top of it. It literally looks
Oh.
like that.
Oh, because that's exactly what it is?
Why? You put like pepperoni slices on top of your hat?
Sure, why not?
Wow, Carl, I did not know you were such a... I was gonna say slicer or...
Ah, you can't finish your joke.
Pepperoni face, man.
What?
Pepperoni face.
Pepperoni face.
Do you not know that term?
No, actually I don't.
Pepperoni face is kind of a crude, like, term for, yeah, exactly what
Okay,
Emoto
cool.
says. It's basically like someone's
Oh, okay, I get it. Okay.
yeah, someone's
I see.
face is covered in it.
So that's another face.
Scanning everything.
Scanning.
Yeah, I want to get 100% in this game because it's not that hard to get 100%.
What, does it give you a rating at the end?
It does actually. It does
No,
give.
no, you just get a postcard. No, just kidding.
Yeah, you get
Yeah,
a.
Metroid is like that, yeah.
Yeah, you get a rating at the end saying like how much of the game that you've already done, and that body's sticking through the entire floor.
In the old school Metroid games, if you beat the game fast enough, you get to like see Samus Aran in a bikini, and it's like, okay.
I mean, I have access to play the original Metroid, so I was kind of considering in one sitting try to beat the original Metroid.
The original is really hard from what I've heard. I've never played the OG.
I think
Yeah, it's really hard.
isn't
Super
like-
Metroid is definitely like a superior sequel.
The reason being is because that the game opens up way too fast early on. So you easily get lost, and there's a lot of repeating rooms. So you get just easily disoriented in the
I
whole entire area.
I think the original Metroid is on the on the NES online. I know Super Metroid
It is. Yep,
is?
they
Okay.
both are.
I mean, Kyle, you can try it both.
Why should I play it on that when I have it on my
Dude, fucking
3DS?
race me, bro. Blind playthrough of Metroid, let's race.
Oh God, that's gonna end horribly for both of us.
Oh,
I
actually,
can
speaking,
pretend that I beat it first because you can't see my screen being streamed.
wait, so speaking about
Sure.
the original Metroid on NES, do you know this one crude password that you can put in the NES version?
I
Was
don't.
it like boobs or something?
No, it's Engage Ridley Motherfucker.
I
I'm
think,
not
What?
joking.
I
I'm not
think-
joking.
I think I remember hearing that.
That's
That's a
an
really
actual
long password
password.
too.
That's an actual password.
I mean, I guess if that's like sets of 6 characters.
But it breaks the game though. Because the game assumes that you've been playing for like 2 million years without turning off the console.
So it's actual password, but they.
It's an actual password that the game recognizes.
That's another like developer in joke kind of moment.
It's
I
probably
don't know if it's an in-joke.
it's probably one of those fail-safe ones that ended up being coincidentally like that, but I feel like it's also a developer in joke as well.
I don't think so because when played on the original 3DS, before any firmware updates,
Mhm.
like if you were to type in type in that password, it would actually brick your 3DS. So no, I don't think it was intentional.
Hmm.
It is most likely just pure coincidence.
Hmm.
Well, I guess you can't engage
It's
Ridley then,
Because
motherfucker.
it's just like with with Metal Gear on the NES. One of the passwords is literally "F me" with a bunch of ones added at the end.
Honestly, Carl, it's like okay, so like I have the NES. I feel like I want to try playing with you guys just to see how utterly badly translated it is because I do have a copy of it.
Metal Gear.
Metal Gear, the
Yeah.
original
Yeah.
Metal Gear,
Metal Gear. Snake.
and I can easily get the
God, Metal
second
Gear.
one if I want. And I have the
Dude,
legacy.
you should just play like the OG Metal Gear Solid games. Those would be fun to watch too.
Actually, I
Wait,
do.
no,
I just
wait,
got
you-
confirmation from the company that I just bought the legacy. Apparently, my shipment just got confirmed just now, recently, because like the whole thing it just got delayed. But yeah, I'm getting it. The only problem is I need to hook up a PS3, which that is a pain in the butt because recording anything on the PS3s, the component cables are terrible.
Yeah,
Also-
and isn't there like software or hardware that you have to bypass?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's
Yep.
not. Yeah, Sony was not playing nice that generation. I mean, they still aren't, but yeah, they were not. They were especially not
Yeah,
playing
because
nice.
the PS4 has that problem in a sense, but it's more so like you just have to turn off a certain setting.
Yeah.
And that's like a simple one, but compared to like the PS3, yeah. Yeah, it's not nice. So, I'm not looking forward to trying to hook up a PS3 with it once I actually get a hold of one. Mommy. But yeah, I did watch an entire playthrough of Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, and 4. So it's like I know the story, but it's been a long time to the point where I probably don't remember where to. Oh, you can see Samus's eyes. I forgot that you can do that.
Getting to experience the gameplay yourself would be like an interesting thing too.
I mean, I'm okay at stealth. I mean, when I really try it, I can actually do well.
I've
wouldn't
watched
worry
speed
about
runs
it.
of the first 3 games, and they're pretty fun to watch as speed games.
Dude,
Because like
you
people
should
are super good at them. It's like not even a speed. It's not even a stealth game. They can just breeze through everything because they know
Dude.
exactly where everything is.
You should see the first game, like with Metal Gear Solid 1 on PC, because that game is just absolutely
Oh, it's
broken.
glitchy as hell. Yeah,
It's glitchy as hell because
there's
the game's not designed for
What
it.
was it actually on PC?
There's a GDQ
Yeah.
speedrun of it where they show off how broken the
Because
PC
they
version
did this
is.
at the PC. So the programmers decided to add some more features by adding macro keys or hotkeys for certain actions. But the thing is that the game isn't designed to handle certain actions when pressed at the same time. So as a result, you get glitchy movement. So you're able to like clip through walls. You're able to do weird stuff. It's so a train wreck, but it's beautiful.
So you're what you're saying is to get the best time in Metal Gear Solid ever,
on PC,
just play on PC.
Well, I mean that's its own category, I believe.
I mean, I'm pretty
is,
sure.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
that's its own.
There's-
game.
There's so many differences to the point where it can be categorized as its own separate game.
In general, the first game is pretty weird with how certain things work. Like a stealth trick they do during certain sections, even on the PlayStation, is like whenever you like rapidly equip and unequip an item, it
Oh,
like
you go
cancels
faster.
out the sound of like running on tiles.
Doesn't that also
So
make you go faster?
instead of having to walk or slow down, like when they're like running on loud tiles behind an enemy, they just like rapidly equip and unequip a grenade to just run up to the guard and like knock him out.
Yeah. They also clip out of bounds, skip certain bosses as well.
Yeah, like a third of the game they skip on like the 80%. Yeah.
I'm actually curious, is the Legacy Collection using the actual PS1 graphics, or would it be the updated one? Will be
It
a
most
little
likely is
updated.
emulating. It most likely is just emulating the game.
Yeah, probably.
Does the Legacy Collection include the first game?
It includes all the games, I think. Yeah, including 4, and as well as a
that's
couple
interesting.
handhelds.
I think one of the other collections in the PS3 only included 2, 3, and 4 or something like that.
Yeah, no, that was like on the PS3. That's only like 1 and 2, I believe. Yes.
Yeah.
At least Metal Gear doesn't have like weird camera angles. It's more cinematic than anything. Oh,
Oh, that's with the first two.
well,
That's what
I mean,
the
unless you want to say Metal Gear Solid 4, which is just literally a movie.
25% game, 75% movie.
I would say 80%.
80%.
Didn't they say about like what was that like cinematic game where it was like 1800 special?
Oh, 1800, that one in the PS4 when it was one of the launch titles?
Something like that.
Yeah, I think it was 1800, was what you're thinking, where it's like a couple people back in like really old, like,
Back in
London.
the old days.
Yeah, London, where they're fighting like creatures.
You mean werewolves?
Anything creature buys. I don't know exactly what I did not know if it was so more cinematic or than anything.
Yeah, apparently there was so much cutscene that a guy who on YouTube was like, "Press X to not give a shit." That's basically his commentary.
Honestly, like a lot of these games, like a lot of like modern games, I feel are creating the story first, and then they work backwards to try and fit the game in, which just looks jarring as hell.
Yeah, no, a lot of games do that. Like actually,
Like that's in my honest opinion, I don't like that design philosophy.
well, no, not many people do actually.
Because it's like, are you trying to create a movie or are you trying to make a game?
Yes.
And then you look at David Cage.
David Cage.
David Cage, yeah, like Heavy Rain, Beyond Two Souls, and Detroit Become Human. It's like literally a movie.
I think it might be the result of a lot of games getting shit because sometimes like the end, like the finale of a story is kind of slapped on like as an afterthought, and so it might be an attempt to avoid that.
It's also the fact that some people complain that games are not really like great at not telling great stories, or like it rots your brain kind of thing. It's nothing more than just
but the thing is
useless
that
buttons.
but games shouldn't default to copying other mediums. It should be able to tell stories through uniquely through its own by itself.
Well, the problem is, Carl, is also that we live in a day and age where a lot of people, like, if you don't go with a certain trend, it's really hard for you to even make any money or a living off of it. So that's why a lot of people tend to just go with simple trends, because that's what it is. And once they...
Even though designing the game is harder?
Yes.
Oh my god.
That's generally what people go for, because that's what they... That's why they can guarantee at least some money. It's not the best way, it's not the perfect way, but it's at least some money you can get back.
And I guess because Nintendo, is already huge, is the reason why they're able to, create the game first and then build a story around the gameplay, and that's why, they're still profiting.
Yep, exactly. And they can even risk like
they're able to innovate on certain game ideas, like gameplay ideas.
They can actually like risk having what the heck?
Like, okay, it's not to say that Nintendo always is the one that's always innovating. No, far from it. It's like you look at Skyrim. I think that innovated the modern open world genre.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Nintendo studied from that to create Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Like Nintendo doesn't always make that stuff, but it's just that Nintendo always seems to be the prime example of how to make a game.
They've been at it the longest. Like even their classic like oldest games still test the time to this day. Even with some younger generations who never ever touched that kind of gameplay style ever.
You know, what I like about Nintendo's design philosophy is that, you know, in terms of like creating stories out of gameplay, it's like with Splatoon, I feel is a good example of that kind of philosophy. It's like you want to create a third-person shooter, that involves team cooperation. Okay, what do you shoot? You shoot ink. Okay, what kinds of creatures would shoot ink? You know, it took them a while to figure it out because they went through bunnies, humans,
Oh
etc.
god.
And then eventually they stumbled across, you know, squids. And then they thought, okay, wait a minute. It's like the ink kind of reminds them of graffiti, so why don't we make it like a punk style? You know, and stuff like that. Then they just start to build the story around that. It's like, and then there's reason as to why you have certain weapons and such, you know, stuff like that. It feels organic instead of just being tacked onto everything.
Well, that is the proper way to do it, but as I mentioned before, there's a trend, and without that trend, then people can probably be more creative. But nowadays, it's like, well, back in the day, it's like you can make some like the riskiest stuff, like what they did with like Final Fantasy and like Dragon Quest. Like that stuff was like never heard of back in the day. And then it's like, and that was like out of trend with certain games. And like Mario was already popular on platform, but they didn't do that and stuff like that. And it's also that nowadays it's like, because a lot of things has already happened, the fact is that they want to go with that trend because it's easier. It's just easier.
So okay, like, one thing I realized, like, where story would make sense, you know, where story takes the spotlight, would be in an RPG, because that's where story makes sense.
Yep. Not in a platformer, not in a shooter, that much.
Yeah, not as much in the shoot. Like, there is room for stories.
Yep.
But each game genre should be treated differently, like the way that you develop stories.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you're creating an RPG, you can actually focus more on story than you can on gameplay, because the gameplay will most likely be simple by that point, with simple mechanic. Well, quote unquote simple.
Button mash to victory.
I mean, kind of, but yeah. It's like, so, because otherwise it's like, what's the point of playing the game if you're not in for the story? You know, there's a reason why you play the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon games. There's a reason why you play Pokemon. There's a reason why you play Final Fantasy, Chrono Trigger.
What are you talking about? I only play for the characters, Carl.
I play them because they're sick games, bro.
No. I play them because they're functions.
I play them for the class functions.
Play them because I felt like it.
I played it because I heard it was crap.
Oh god, like, one of those was one of the people that just loves to cancel stuff.
Yep.
But yeah, it's like, man, that's one of my pet peeves with modern gaming. It's like, the reason why I don't play like many non-Nintendo games is because the way they're designed doesn't entice me to keep playing them. There's a reason why Doom 2016 is one game that I will actually play again.
Because you like killing people.
No. Rather, it's because I love the gameplay. The gameplay loop. It feels Nintendo. Like, it feels organic in terms of the way you play the game. Like, how you interact with the enemies and stuff like that.
That's the sentence I never thought I would hear.
I'm not joking.
If the Doom was in like...
I've seen gameplay, it's very fast and quick.
But here's the thing. When you think about FPS, what do you immediately think about in terms of how the gameplay works? Other than Doom.
COD.
Games other than Doom are mostly just run and shoot and like
Not
blow
run,
shit out of stuff.
Duck. You cover. It's duck and cover and then shoot. It's literally just wait for the opponent to attack, and then until they're done, then you shoot. And then rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. It's like stop, go, stop, go, stop, go. Whereas in Doom, if you try and duck and cover, you're not gonna get any health pull. You're not gonna get any health for doing it. Because if you want to regenerate health, you got to be aggressive and get in front of get in front of the enemy and use the melee attack.
Or just go up in front of them. It's like, hey, baby, I'm gonna steal your health. Thank you.
Oh, dude, that'd be my approach, dude. Digits BB approach playing Doom 2016.
It'd be like going to eat.
Doom 2016, more like Digits 2016.
You see, the thing is that the game revolves around the melee mechanic and shooting mechanic, because shooting keeps the enemy at bay while you approach them and then once when you get close to them, you can actually use your melee attack to recover health.
Yeah,
That's
some
genius.
enemies you can stagger some enemies, and
Yeah, like that's genius. Like I love that. Like I love that design, because there's two gameplay mechanics that just complement each other instead of just being two separate systems just for the sake of adding quote unquote variety.
Having too much variety in the game really does hinder you.
Unless they work together. You see, like in Metroid, you have multiple weapons, because you have a variety of weapons, but they all work together in the end. When you start solving more complicated puzzles.
That's true.
Yeah. You see, it's stuff like that. It's like
It's also that it like once you get certain items, you can go back to certain areas to do more in it.
right.
Where the heck am I going?
Wait, did you just turn off your brain while moving around?
No, both areas look exactly the same, and they're both dark. And I was just like, did I go backwards or did I go forwards? I can't tell.
I forgot that was an actual quote from Finding Nemo. Oh, you guys made me angry.
That could be taken out in many different directions.
Yeah. Oh, was it over the abyss area? Like,
No, nope,
I mean the deep water area?
nope. Well, no, actually, yes, that actually is the area. Never mind.
Yeah, like it was on a field trip, if I recall.
Yep. Well, they went to a part where they said, no, you should not go there. And it's like, but wait, mister, I want to go there. But you shouldn't go there. But I want to go to the abyss. I want to touch the butt.
Wait, was that an actual line? Like, I'm not joking. Like, that
Yeah,
sounds
touch
familiar.
the butt, dude. Yeah.
Touch the butt.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, the boat.
Yeah, it's in Finding Nemo. Touch the butt, dude. That made all the kids giggle in the theater. Talking about touching the butt. There's also a line where it's like, hey, I think it's called a butt. And one of the other fish is like, whoa, that's a big butt.
Oh,
So good.
okay.
So good.
It's one of those like dirty jokes. Actually, I didn't realize I mean, like when I got older and I started learning about the inside jokes and dirty adult jokes, it was like one of those things. It's just like, as a kid, it's like, wow, I kind of wish I understood these. And it's like, this is mainly for adults who are forced to watch these movies at with their kids. I learned that like you guys watched the Cars movie, right?
Yes.
At the time it
regrettably.
came out, I haven't seen it since then.
I watched the first one, which is fine. Second one, regretted, just full of regret.
The third one I heard was good. I mean, I enjoyed the second one for
Meh.
what it is.
Third one's meh.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, go ahead.
So the scene where in the the beginning where Lightning McQueen's like getting like congratulations on his like tie at the beginning, and then like his two fangirls flash him with their headlights.
Oh.
Yeah, it's in the card universe. That's something else.
Oh wait, didn't they get dragged away by security?
Yes.
Oh my god. Okay.
And it was just like when the video was explaining that, I was just like, huh. Okay. I did not realize that was a thing. And it's like now that as an adult, it's like, yeah, no, now I can see it now. Does kind of ruin it though. But that was what happened.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie though, the second movie just sucks. Like I remember watching it in theater and I was just groaning
I mean,
internally.
I enjoyed it. I mean, it's not great, that's for sure. But I would say I enjoyed it.
But the thing is that the first movie, I liked it because it felt more like a, I mean, it's not original. It's not an original story by any means. It's essentially like the guy on top, finally learns like what's, finally like learns about other stuff in life. There's other things to enjoy and stuff like that. Much more simpler life that you can have. But I think it's wholesome. But the second movie, it's like they're trying to be wholesome, but at the same time, it's just riddled with James Bond related plot devices, and it's like, what?
That's when they try to add too much, and
There's just so much bloat that I don't think any kid is gonna understand. Is gonna follow. Like,
it
all
was
those plot
really convoluted for even to me.
Yeah. Like there wasn't focus. Like they didn't. There wasn't exactly like a main focus in terms of story. I would say. Like okay, sure. Like they have to find was the main bad guy that's falsely advertising this oil that's apparently like what is it? Environmentally friendly or something like that. Yet it's not. Yeah. Like they kind of. I don't know. It just didn't hit. It just didn't hit the right notes.
It didn't hit the right notes, but it's also, I think it's like, I don't know. I don't know how much freedom Pixar has with their movie decisions, but at the same time, it definitely just it seems like more of a. We wanted to add so much things like going around the world and stuff that they focused on more of the visuals rather than the plot.
Yeah, like the movie itself does actually look really nice.
I can't move. I can't see. Yeah, like that. I mean, like Toy Story 3 was definitely the best looking Pixar film at the time, and I was so impressed by the visuals.
Yeah. Actually, I think I watched it on my birthday. Now that I think about it, Toy Story 3.
I watched it before.
Before.
I watched it before my brother went to college. Right before.
Oh. That's appropriate then.
Yeah. Yeah, I watched it at like I watched I don't remember watching Toy Story 1 2 other than on VHSs because Toy Story 1 came out literally when a year I was born and Toy Story 2 came out like in 1999.
Something like that.
Yeah, and I don't think I ever watched it in the theater. I think my brother said we did, but I don't remember it because 4 years old me, it's like
Yeah. Wait, take the innocent explanation?
she doesn't want to think of the flashing headlights as the other interpretation.
Oh. Yeah.
It's not. It's really hard to compare that as innocent at all.
Unless you're a kid.
Yeah, but still, it's really not.
I mean, if you're a kid, you don't know. You don't know much else.
Mm-hmm.
Unless somehow you found the raunchy stuff.
Eh.
Same is cool. Thanks. Oh yeah, I am the sixth grader that's apparently a genius in astronomy.
Mm-hmm. You can go into a major into it. Got that.
Hey, the mobile picture is actually starting to come together.
I thought you said emote of picture. I was like, wait, what?
Wait, what? No, Emolga.
Mocha, mo.
Dude, Emolga in the anime is super sassy.
Yeah.
Emocha, mo. Asha. Ma. Asha.
They like Oshawott and Imoga fight in the anime.
Man, I do miss it was an Emolga from Gates to Infinity. Because with Emolga, I'm not going to spoil much into it, but let's just say that Emolga's personality is different.
Imoga is a why?
I love that animation. So cute. And yes, I took advanced STEM classes.
Would that be cute?
Huh? That Emoga?
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks cute. Look at it just go. Look at it munch away.
It's just eating a lot.
Oh, shut up.
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying, silence!
Alright. Won't I have to do something here?
Oh, that's adorable. Mm.
How do I do this again? Hold on, I need to double check something. No, it's a wave beam. Oh, that was a missile expansion, right? I don't have the super missile. Dang it. Alright, how do I get that one again?
I will say it was a. Oh my god.
What?
Dude, okay. Yeah, Imoga flirts a lot in the anime for some reason.
I mean, that's its charm. Ha ha ha.
Derp.
Herpaturbatur. There we go. I had to be special. Nah, not special beam cannon. Special beam cannon. All right, let's see. Oh, this is a boss fight. Oh, I remember this boss fight. I was wondering when I would fight this boss. This is actually a pretty cool boss fight. I actually like this one. Out of the ones that I have played before, this is one of my favorites. If not the favorite. You know, I don't know when I stopped. Probably shortly after this. It's a giant pile of rock stones. Dun 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 dun
2001.
dun 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 dun. Yeah, this is like a cool boss.
Stay cool.
Stay cool. All right, everyone, chill.
Allow me to break the ice.
So many ice puns.
Free. And own it well.
You know, I wonder how Arnold's like Mr. Ice would react with T800. Honestly, Arnold. That'll be funny.
Irrelevant situation.
All right, Mr. 800, chill.
And he immediately gets shot in the face.
Yep.
F you, dickwad. Oh no, F you, a-hole.
It-
We keep making Arnold memes.
I mean, he's a meme person who has embraced the meme, actually.
You know, just with so
Oh,
lately
God.
I've also been on a Transformers like high lately.
Mhm.
So I actually saw was Optimus Prime's death scene to see how impactful it was.
Which one? That's the question.
The 1986 one,
Oh, okay. That's
the
what.
best one.
Oh, well, technically there are two in the original 1986.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm talking about the one where all the kids cried.
So you're talking about the one in the second one,
The
right?
No, the one that's the one where he first died.
All right. But which series? Okay, I'm kidding.
Okay.
I know.
But yeah,
The-
it's like,
Yeah.
it's like, man, holy crap! It's actually, dude, that's depressing.
yeah, I still hate the reasoning though for them killing a bunch of characters.
It's like, okay, you know what's weird? I watched it so many times as a kid, and it never affected me. Probably because I didn't know much better about death.
It's also that, I mean, the thing about the Optimus Prime ones, because I never, let's see, which one would be my first, Death Optimus? It's not animated.
It's not the live action one, is it?
No, I was too old to even care to get really impacted by that, because for one thing, at that point, I knew stories, and I knew that Optimus Prime died almost every single time so far. I think it's
Yeah.
the Armada one.
Armada. Okay, that's interesting.
Is it? Wait, is it an Armada? I don't remember, because I know it's in the Armada, Energon, and Cybertron series.
Let me see.
I think it might
the
be
Uni-
Armada, because it's during the Unicron.
Yeah, in the Unicron trilogy, I know for a fact that in Cybertron, he didn't die. He came close multiple times, but never once.
I think yeah, because like Armada was actually one of my favorite Transformers series as a kid, even though I didn't watch
That
all
was
of it.
Good.
Well, okay, like after watching it now, you could definitely see a lot of the production errors. Like that.
Well, yeah.
That
Yeah,
was
for sure.
That one was like I wish it was different, but man, the animation, the everything.
Hand-drawn animation.
Yeah, it was like, oh my god, so good.
It's so good, and also, dude, the story on that is so amazing.
Yeah, well, I mean, like it was generic at the beginning. Like it makes
generic
sense.
at the beginning, but then as soon as you get to the finale, like, oh my god. Mm.
I need to rewatch that, but
Dude, like, I think Starscream steals the show.
yeah,
Like, in the end.
it's actually I heard also the tie-in game to the series is actually not that bad.
Like, for once, you actually root for Starscream, not because he's the funny jerk that tries to, overthrow, like, Megatron or Galvatron?
Mhm.
It's rather because, like, he has his own, like, personal reason that's actually honorable. Like, it feels nice for a change, for a Decepticon to have such, a motive.
Yeah.
And then they screw it up in freaking Energon.
Well, Energon, yeah, Energon. What? Well, was it? No,
Starscream gets
Cybertron was
amnesia.
Cybertron was the one that was not supposed to be with the others, but he did anyway.
I mean, it's the furthest away. Okay, Cybertron's the furthest away from it to the point where it literally can stand on its own.
Yep.
Like, I didn't know, but for the longest time, I didn't know that Cybertron was related to Energon or Armada.
That was just only because of the dub. Japanese never did that originally.
Yeah. But Jesus Christ, like, Energon was just a cash grab.
Yep. Yeah, but yeah, Carl, if you're ever interested, I can just play quickly through the War for Cybertron game because that actually
Yeah, I
is a fun one.
Yeah, I want to see that.
I have it, and I'll have to reinstall it again. It has multiplayer and co-op actually, so it's like it's also fun with that. Except multiplayer is dead because nobody has it, and I am sad because I don't have anybody who has the game. Ouch.
You know, was it the music? Was it during, like, Optimus Prime's death scene in the 1986 movie?
Mhm.
That one right there, I will say, they drag out his death for, like, just to make sure that the kids actually see it. Like, it's not quick. like they actively play it out, like showing I think his heartbeat. It's like
Yep.
slowly, like just slowing down. It's like Jesus.
It's also that one of the things is that I got so used to Optimus Prime's death. This is why I say like Optimus Prime's death at this point don't really affect me at all because it's basically at this point a common staple. It's like when you have a Transformers, like when you know any Transformers like lore, it's basically like one of those things just that any new series of Transformers that's more mature based, that's not kid based, will not just kid based, but will have Optimus die. Even Transformers Animated had Optimus probably die for a little bit.
Yeah, like I mean, it's at this point it's a given. But back then though, like when Gen 1, not Pokemon, like Transformers G1, was the only Transformers around.
Yeah.
Like it's shocking.
Yep.
Even though in hindsight it doesn't make sense because Optimus has dealt with worse.
It's also Generation 2 Transformers was weird.
It was weird, and it felt like everyone was taking acid.
What, don't you do that?
No. Have you seen Galvatron being admitted to a freaking psychiatric ward, which is a planet?
I have not seen it.
Is acid stream gonna be like a thing on Blazer Gamer?
I think we get banned before we even started.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like Galvatron gets admitted to a planet which is a psychiatric ward by the Decepticons themselves because they're like he's crazy.
Also, bad translations, bad dubbing.
Like what?
The Generation 2 Transformers, I believe that one had really bad dubbing.
I thought it was made in America first, and then brought over to Japan. At least that's how it was with G1.
Doesn't mean that they can't have bad dubbing.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean. All right. Yeah,
I think it was like bad communication as well as budget.
could be. I wouldn't be surprised. Like knowing Hasbro.
Yeah,
Hasbro they were hasty to get rid of the old toy line.
yeah, because I think the best the series that's most memorable to a lot of Transformers fans is Generation 1, though. Generation 1 is still...
It's the okay boomer one.
Yeah, it's okay. It's more of like it. If you really look at it objectively, it's pretty messy in certain cases.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because it's like, it's a toy line first, and then a cartoon.
Yeah, and it's like I get that certain characters have to look the same, and limitations and all that stuff, but it's like looking at the story itself, it is a hodgepodge of whatever they added together.
Yeah. Though, at least the Transformers looked more distinct than the freaking live-action ones, except for Bumblebee. That's the only exception, because you can actually tell who's who.
I mean, the live action was fun. Like, and then it's like there's also the live action first Transformers that was good. Like
That was good, yeah.
And then there is for animations. Yeah. Then there's like Beast Wars, which is always a fan favorite because it's so mature. What else was there other than there's animated, there's Prime.
That was good. Oh my god, what the heck?
What's that? What's that actually? I don't know what that is.
I don't know, it looks like a stripper club.
It is a stripper club.
I looked up nightclubs in Mapongi.
Oh my god!
And then photoshopped Yakuza Carl into that picture.
God damn it.
Wait, is Yakuza Kara in there? Because I can't see it in current my setup. Oh yeah, there he is.
You gotta look at the lower right where it's Carl with a bunch of tattoos photoshopped onto him.
Just for the record, I was playing Mario Kart 8 Deluxe with someone.
That's what you're doing in that picture.
Yeah, because I was holding I was
funny.
holding two Joy-Cons. You can't see it because I have my arms crossed, or arms folded, but yeah. Across me was a friend that I played against. So yeah.
I don't know. The funny thing is that this is just this meme of Carl with I couldn't Photoshop full sleeves on him, so I just took a bunch of small American style tattoos and Photoshopped them onto him. But I remember one time I was in Tokyo with some friends. I think we met up with another friend at some bar that was in Shibuya somewhere, I think. And there was like a Japanese bartender who actually had that kind of look, where he just had like what looked like just a bunch of random things tattooed onto his arms.
Oh yeah.
Like I think one of his tattoos was like the aliens from Toy Story, like photoshopped onto like his biceps.
That's hilarious.
Like the look of a guy who like didn't necessarily know what he wanted to get tattooed on him. He just wanted to get as many tattoos as quickly as possible.
That sounds like someone who just like.
Trying to be cool as quick as possible.
Yeah.
I mean, if he lives in like the Shibuya area, then
Okay, that
yeah.
just, I mean, alright. When he said Shibuya, I'm like, okay, yep, alright.
Yeah.
I Shibuya you.
There are some
Alright,
characters in Shibuya, some odd-looking people. I've never actually been to Roppongi, so I can't really comment on that, but nor do I necessarily want to be out there. I don't know. Like one of my friends has commented before because he studied abroad in Tokyo for a time, so he kind of went like everywhere, and he was like, Roppongi was like the only area of Japan where I totally did not feel safe.
Yeah, because that's kind of odd, because it's like, you go to Japan, and it actually feels extremely safe.
I mean,
Well, I mean, okay, at least from where I went, like, I didn't exactly feel in any
also
particular
it's
danger.
notable that you can say that as a dude.
Yeah.
Okay, alright. Okay.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, but I'm just
So
talking
that's
about from
one
my
thing,
own.
but-
I mean, I'm also talking about from my own experience as well.
Yeah, I mean, I feel safe personally. Like, I walk around at night in my Inaka town, like, all the time, but, like, even
I
at my
actually think both.
prefecture, like, I have at least one friend who's been, like, sexually assaulted in the time that she lived here, so...
Oh really? Oof. That's
And,
a big oof.
I don't know, like, actually the same friend who said he didn't feel safe going in Roppongi because of how weird it is there, like, he's black, and there was one time that he was in Tokyo where it wasn't even in that, it was, like, in probably around Shibuya or something, like, during the daytime, where, like, it was during a time where, like, Trump was visiting Tokyo or something, so, like, the police were just, like, everywhere at the time. And so he was just walking around with some shopping bags, and he just got, like, basically profiled and stopped by the cops.
Hmm.
And they, like, searched his shopping bags and stuff, and he was like, dude, just leave me alone. But, I mean, the cops in Tokyo are known for being, like, sketchy and stuff, too, so...
Really?
That's for a whole another podcast.
Yeah.
Just to the podcast,
But,
just be Kyle.
I don't know, what else
Yep.
should I Photoshop Carl into?
Maid Cafe.
No,
Oh, well, I
you already
did it
that.
yesterday.
Yeah.
I did,
Oh,
I did
oh,
it
yeah.
outside of a Maid Cafe.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
What would be funny, actually?
I think I might have an idea.
I feel like we're stretching thin with this one.
No, put him in his own apartment.
I like Yakuza Carl. It's a pretty fun look.
Put it in his own
Wait.
apartment. Put him on the dance floor. As reference to the Yakuza game.
Oh no, wait. Put cross-dressed Cloud in the picture.
Cross-dread.
See, I actually have another idea if I can find
Was
this.
it from Final Fantasy VII Remake?
I mean, he's technically Cloud. That cross-dress is also in the original, Carl. Come on.
I know, but yeah, but I mean, but it's a higher quality model.
Are you saying you don't like?
Well, I have an idea because I found a picture I was looking for.
Yes, I love to see 700 polygon Cloud in a dress.
Yeah. Also, yeah, Grace, I'm snacking. Welcome to the snacking part a little bit.
Oh, Grace appeared.
A wild Grace appeared.
Why Grace appeared? Right, you told me that I just put some snacks in my mouth.
This is the kind of quality we get when Nick starts using a webcam on stream.
I can't see the webcam because I'm watching on Discord.
I mean, you can always switch. I can switch it over to OBS. You just won't hear anything.
Nah, it's okay. No, it's okay. I know what to do.
Grace can see all my beautiful face.
There we go. Okay, I have it open. I just have the stream muted.
Oh, you better, unless you want to hear double your voice.
No, I don't want to hear double me. It's just that would just sound awkward.
Oh yeah, right. I need to turn up the volume.
Yeah, I
yeah.
turn it up all the time, just the tutorial.
Oh wait, I
Right.
have to do this too. There we go.
Oh, Carl, you weren't following me?
I didn't realize that.
Wait,
Carl!
Carl was not following Nick's channel this entire time?
No, he wasn't.
Like all these years that he's been streaming?
Okay, when you say all these years, Nick's been streaming for like a year?
No.
No?
He's been streaming, dude. He's been consistently streaming for like over 2 years now.
Yeah, 3 years.
In my In my defense, for the first year, I was actually pretty busy.
Okay. But you can still follow me.
But hey, do you want me not to? Okay, do you want me to unfollow you now?
I'll unfollow you.
Wait, do I follow freaking Fantoyoshi VR? Let me check. Let me remove him from my follow list.
Well, Carl, are you also following the official Grace as well?
Oh, well, it's a good thing I don't have Carl add as a friend on Twitch, because he clearly isn't one.
Did Grace post a link to her schedule?
Oh, she's not. She has not gotten the link to our schedule.
Okay, again, in my defense,
I didn't bring up that following or the calendar thing.
But yeah, because I didn't know. Like, I actually don't know Grace's.
I suppose we could like manage that stuff soon enough, because Grace is like planning on making like a separate Discord server for her like streaming stuff and for like Twitch subscribers and that kind of thing. So we can use that server to like connect the calendars and stuff too.
That's true.
Okay. All right. As long as there's a way for me to access like a schedule.
It's just that first she needs to like decide a super creative and satisfying name for her server, and I'm like thinking to myself the entire time. I'm like, dude, my server, I'm like, my server is called Digits BB Streams. Like there was like no effort that came into naming my Discord server.
There's also like she could just call it the official Grace's Twitch.
Yeah,
Discord.
I mean like it doesn't have to be exact like fancy.
No. Oh man, if she had a if she added the
I'm picky, she says.
I'm picky.
I'm picky. I was gonna say if it was like something like it was like it would have been like official Grace. It would be like OOG in acronym.
Wait, what?
OOG, like
OG, dude. OG. The OGs.
The OGs. Or like Doog. Discord official Grace.
That would be dog.
Dog. Actually, yeah, if you take out the other official.
I mean, I suppose if you count on the underscore, it would be AUG. OUG official underscore Grace.
No, you gotta do you gotta do it in the in the honorable voice.
OOG.
AUG. Get out.
That would be dog. I mean, she's appreciating the dog, but maybe she should say like Discord official Grace.
Oh, dude, Discord official underscore Grace, Doug.
Doug.
DOUG. That's you. Oh my god, dude. Oh, Nick, I guess you aren't really all that familiar with Game Grumps, are you?
I am, actually.
Okay. There was this one clip that it was like a moment from like years ago, like during like their Breath of the Wild playthrough, but I hadn't watched that. But I came across this clip because they recently, because of quarantine, started doing like remote videos, and they did one of them reacting to like Mario themed animations, and then one of like their most viewed fan animations. Yeah. And they basically had this moment during a Breath of the Wild boss fight where like they made a pun related to the word "I," and like Dan said like, would that be EYE? And then Aaron like just kind of blanked for a moment. He's like, that's you. He was like, that's you. It's EWE, Dan. And then he like realized what he was saying, and it's pretty great.
That's funny.
I mean, I brought this up to Grace because she brought up a moment where she spelled the word 8 as EIT during a class as an ESL teacher, so...
Wait, no. Wait, I'm surprised you didn't go AIGHT.
Well, this isn't me we're talking about. This is Grace's spelling. Excuse me.
Also, I mean,
I am a certified whatever, but
I mean, if Grace wants to be so generic, so she could call her her Discord server official server, then go. She is more than welcome to.
Official underscore server.
Yeah.
Or the real _official_ server.
Yeah, having the word real makes it sound like at real Donald Trump or like that kind of thing. We don't want to go with that.
Right. Or the not, like just like Nick's Twitter, not official _official_ server.
No, my Twitter name is literally not the Nick Kim.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, that's too basic according to grades.
No, it's the ultimate mind game. What are you talking about? Because that's exactly the point. It's so basic that it's actually original.
It's so basic that's actually original, really?
Yes. Like, you know how certain movies are so bad it's good? Think of it that way.
I mean, that's one way you could say it.
You are tearing me apart, Lisa. I'm assuming no one here has seen The Room.
What?
I've seen clips of it.
Oh, hi, Ma.
It's a terrible movie.
It's terrible, but it's hilarious.
The original basic.
Yes, the original basic. There we go.
Where the heck am I going?
You know, I just realized the Emolga that I'm drawing, it's the scar? It's not really the... How should I say? It's a really long scar compared to the actual game.
I mean, each Emolga is different?
No, the scarf. Like, you know, for the rescue teams?
Ah,
Like, you know how short those scarves are?
yes.
Yeah. It's just that the one that I have, yeah, it's like that, except imagine like there's a huge tail at the back. So it looks like a miniature cape, or a really skinny one.
Yeah. Oh. Oh my.
Oh my.
Oh my. Oh god. I actually like wait, is Grace gonna make the Discord server sub only or followers and subs?
Is there a way to display two Twitch
I
chats?
assume that she would let anybody who's like it's basically a way to move over people from like the Animal Crossing related server that we
Yep.
have done most stream stuff with so far. So I assume that everybody from that would be able to move over to that server.
Yep.
I think it's that any personal friends can join the server plus people who subscribe on Twitch.
I get benefits. She better give me benefits.
Oh no, she's just totally not going to allow Nick into the server at all. Just like prohibit Blazer Gamer 112 from entering the server.
Arr. Subs only, except friends can join for free.
So it's OnlyFans.
Oh no.
Oh. I was not gonna make that joke. Kara, are you sure you're in 6th grade?
Maybe. So, did you know about?
I think Andrew is channeling Kakar right now.
So, do you know about the supermassive black hole?
And you said Grace.
I will end you.
That makes sense. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Well,
I've never seen those emotes actually. What the heck?
those are, I think, Twitch Prime emotes, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because you need a Twitch Prime account in order to access certain things. And she has Twitch Prime, so she can subscribe to anybody for free for, and it's what like, so, yeah. I can subscribe to her and anybody else who has a subscriber button.
Nice.
Okay, where the heck do I need to go?
You know, I actually kind of wonder, like, what if there's a Metroid game that has a day and night cycle?
Sounds like it'd be a Metroidvania game.
Castlevania.
That's the joke.
Penguins.
What? Where'd you get penguins from?
I have no idea.
I thought you were doing a voice for a sec, but then I looked up and I saw you eating.
I'm eating. I do what I want. I now say what I want. Too bad I don't have any OJs, so I can't make Grace proud with me drinking orange juice right now.
No, you mean make Kyle proud.
Nah. I mean, Grace is the one who drinks the OJs.
You know, actually, I probably should get a drink right now.
Go get a drink, Carl.
What?
Go get a drink, Carl.
I'm drawing.
No. Stop.
Dad never taught us to drink.
Dad taught us to drink. Which dad?
He started that in Japan.
Disappointed. I have a.
Disappointed.
I do have a orange juice like bottle downstairs in the kitchen, so it's there.
There's a Slurpee cup graveyard. Oh, dude, I remember back when we were filming the Slurpee run video for that film class, and like part of the props for that involved me just having to stockpile several Slurpee cups and just kind of keep empty Slurpee cups on my desk in my room for like 2 weeks or so. Like just every time we went to like a 7-Eleven on a Friday night, I would just like keep all the empty cups myself, and like I felt like I was like probably totally getting judged by my roommate at the time, who was like, "Why does Kyle have like 4 empty Slurpee cups on his desk?"
Also, you reminded me I need to buy OJ for tomorrow. Okay, well, Grace is getting ready for her OJ stream.
Why, is this just her drinking OJ?
Nah, 7-Eleven Orange Juice is the unofficial sponsor of our Final Fantasy VII streams.
I thought it would be like any
So is it like Matt
Any stream.
Pat and his freaking Diet Coke?
I guess so, if you want to say it like that.
Because like I remember one time, at one point in time, Matt Pat constantly talked about Diet Coke, or at least like referenced Diet Coke in his videos.
Because he likes Diet Coke.
Yeah. Though why 7-Eleven? Is it because it's closest by? It's the
Yep.
closest one.
Yeah, she lives near one.
Actually, to be fair, I think near my host family, like my host family's house, there was a 7-Eleven.
I mean, dude, if you lived in Japan, you were probably near a 7-Eleven.
Okay, it's either 7-Eleven, Family Mart, or Lawson.
Exactly. And then you got the more obscure ones like what was it, like Circle K or whatever.
I've never heard of that one.
I've only ever seen those in the bigger cities.
What's
though.
Circle K?
It's another
That's it.
convenience store chain.
Really?
There's so many convenience stores in Japan, Nick.
But the big 3 are 7-Eleven, Lawson, and Family Mart.
Yep. I love the Family Mart's jingle.
Oh, what? Wait, why is my...
Like the do 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 that one. That's actually the doorbell tone at my apartment. So I had heard that before. I had like heard like the Family Mart jingle. It's like I walked into a Family Mart. I was like, "What the hell do I live here?"
See, what I would often do is like what I would often do like during a break after like during the middle of class like on a break is I would go down to the first floor and then go to the Family Mart that was literally on the same building, and I would just I'll go in, probably get maybe oolong-cha or
Oompa Loompa?
no
Oolong tea.
yeah, oolong tea.
Not matcha tea?
Like it's cool oolong tea. No, Nick. And I would get melon pan, or just melon bread.
Fami Chikini is so good.
That's
What?
the Japanese way of saying it. It's Family Mart chicken.
It's the fried chicken they sell at Family
Yeah.
Mart stores.
Is that actually a
Think of,
term?
think of like
it's contraction.
you know
It's a
how
contraction.
7-Elevens in the U.S. they sell certain fried foods at like the counter, like they've got like corn dogs or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
Think of that, but like the food's like a little bit better quality. And they sell that kind of
little
stuff
bit
at
better.
convenience stores
Well,
here.
no, actually, it is better. It is actually better.
It's pretty. Yeah, I don't really eat that kind of like fried convenience store food very often, but there's like good fried chicken or like pork buns and stuff at some convenience stores.
Like, what is it? Their food, I will say, does taste a bit fresher, or at least it just tastes better overall. Because I feel like the ones in the US are kind of don't
One sec. I gotta change my Discord nickname to Fammy Chikini.
You just changed it to TGTV.
No, it's not zucchini, it's just chicken.
Zucchini.
I'm pretty sure Nick said Chikini when he misread it out
Oh,
loud.
no, never mind. Was it Grace wrote both, was it chicken and then zucchini? It ain't a panini.
It ain't a panini. It looks like a zucchini. Like it looks like zucchini. Why aren't you doing the zucchini dance?
I mean, chicken.
Family zucchini. Sup, guys?
Honk.
Honk. Swear zucchini is a Pokemon. No, it's not a Pokemon. It sounds like a Pokemon, but it's not a Pokemon.
It sounds like a Gen 1 Pokemon.
It sounds like it could be a Pokemon, yeah.
A Gen 1 Pokemon. Specifically.
Why specifically Gen 1?
Because the names are so
Chikini?
simple.
I don't know.
I mean,
dude, in the newer gens, you have Pokemon with names like Cutie Fly and stuff like that, though.
But then you get stuff like freaking. What is it? Wait, just give me a sec. Wow, I'm blanking on the name. Wait, Fushigane? And.
Who's that?
Oh, so you think that Chikini would be a Japanese Pokemon name?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, not the English one.
What would heck be a zucchini?
A chicken Pokemon. That's all. Just chicken Pokemon.
You're a chicken Pokemon.
You're a chicken Pokemon. No, turkey. I'm not a chicken. You're a turkey. Also, Nick, I saw you do that. I can't hear it through Discord.
Oh yeah, because Discord is like I have the noise filter on and it doesn't do like constant sound of that.
Yeah.
I mean, Grace can hear it, and I think Justin can hear it because I know Justin's online right now.
He's probably thinking, "Oh God, damn it!"
He doesn't. He never heard of the turkey noises. Only you and Sean, I abused it.
Yeah, Sean and I would definitely go, "God damn it, Nick."
I mean, when did I start that actually?
High school.
I know in high school, but why?
I don't know. You're probably just. You're probably just really silly.
I know, but there was a reason why. I just don't know why.
We hear the battle cry of the Turks.
The Turks. The Turk. Incoming scan. Regional climate complete. Abnormal. Lower touch. Serious. Roll.
What?
What?
What? What?
What?
What?
What?
What? Nani?
Nani? What? An end of the match. Huh? What?
Oh man, that episode is great in Japanese.
Oh my god!
Wait, would it be CI Studio or CI?
Unbelievable!
Unbelievable! What? Son of a bitch!
What's your name?
What's your name?
What? Like, why do they make the Japanese make American sounds so ridiculous?
Flamboyant.
Yeah, flamboyant and ridiculous.
Yeah,
I
like
mean,
Pegasus.
It's not like Americans play other people
Like
from
other-
other racial and ethnic groups.
That's true.
Like any better. True.
Yeah, we're not very kind to other ethnicities or nations either.
Yep.
I mean, like, an American playing a Japanese person would probably be like, "Konnichiwa."
Yeah, dude, and freaking like, oh gosh, one thing that stands out to me. I mean, there's plenty of like movies from like like the 20th century that had like stupid depictions. But a favorite of mine is freaking A Christmas Story. You know that movie where like.
Oh yeah,
At the end, they go to the Chinese
yeah.
restaurant, and the
Oh,
Chinese
yeah.
people can't pronounce the L sound, and like
Like they're singing Deck the Halls.
and like you're insulting the wrong nation and language with that joke.
Yeah, it's supposed to be Chinese, but
Chinese people can't pronounce L's.
no, we can't. Like Chinese people can. Like
Yeah.
That's what I said. Yeah.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay, yeah.
Saying that they can't pronounce L's, and like that joke that they're making is like that's like a way you'd make fun of like the Japanese accent,
Yeah.
but it's supposed to be Chinese people in that movie, and it's like, what are you doing?
Oh yeah, and also it's like duck. I think instead of the roast, a roast chicken. I think was it, and supposedly.
It's
instead-
like they ruin the dinner because like the dog, or was it the dog gets in the house, right? Was that?
It's like some sort of animal that just sacks the house, and so
I
they have
think
to go
it
out
was,
to eat.
oh, that's right. It was a group of dogs that got into the house and ate the entire dinner,
Well, isn't it breakfast?
or something like that.
Yeah,
But
it was breakfast. It was either breakfast or lunch, but I'm just trying to remember like what was the main dish. I think it was chicken, or was it turkey?
It was
no,
probably
it was turkey.
turkey.
It was turkey. Yeah, it was turkey. And then but they can't eat the turkey now, so they have to substitute it with a duck.
Sound. Where the heck?
I mean, honestly, I would eat the duck. Barbecue duck just sounds pretty good.
Barbecue duck?
Yeah, dude, have you not tried it?
No, I have never tried a single
Dude,
duck.
it's so good. Like, it's really good. Okay, the next time that you and Sean come over, I'm gonna ask my parents to buy some, like, roast, like, barbecue duck. It's
You know what's
actually
gonna
God.
happen? Sean's gonna go running to the bathroom.
No, that's not what's gonna happen, Nick. That is not what's gonna happen. He is going to like it.
He's gonna go have a bladder problem.
No, he won't.
Bladder problem from eating.
Chinese food, like Chinese
Duck?
takeout.
Yeah,
Because
no.
the last time the next time, the last
That
time
would be a
Sean ate,
bowel problem, not a bladder problem.
Bowel problem.
he went to the bathroom.
Bowel problem?
Yeah, we had like pho one time during like a recording
Oh.
session.
It wasn't pho.
I think
it was
I-
Chinese takeout.
Was it Chinese? I thought it was
It
pho.
was Chinese takeout. You haven't had my mom's pho.
Yeah.
Because because if you did, Sean would actually like it. I'm not gonna.
Yeah,
and
but
you
he,
would like it too.
but he still would not want to eat any Asian food because he will always be like, "Okay, guys, you better be ready. I'm gonna have to go take a big shit."
I went to a spa place once.
Wait, is
Wait,
that
what?
actually from Stack 8?
Is that Stack 8?
No, that's
It's
no.
from the Fairhaven
Yeah,
Commons.
it's from the Fairhaven
I
Commons.
found a picture of it.
What the
Wonder
heck?
Turd? Please tell me you didn't post a picture of the Wonder Turd.
No.
Uh,
I don't
No,
have
it's just
a picture of the Wonder Turd, dude. I never saw it.
Only one the other
Thankfully,
person.
Donkey was showing his picture of the Wonder Turd to everyone, but I averted my eyes.
my eyes.
Anyway, yes, I looked up a picture of Fairhaven Commons, and I was saying like, what would be funny for like Carl with his like Yakuza tattoos, and I was like,
yeah.
open mic night.
Is that like karaoke?
Karaoke?
Huh? What?
Like actually, okay, I've never been to Stack 8 during, like.
Or
Oh
Fairhaven?
no. Open mic night isn't karaoke. Open mic night is like, it's a thing they do. They did it in the Fairhaven Commons from time to time, but also in the underground coffee house on campus, which that was on North Campus. So I like never went to that event because
Okay, well.
it was like a walk across campus. But open mic is like when like basically anybody can perform any kind of anything. It's just kind of a chill event. So like there might be some people doing stand up or whatever,
Okay.
or like a band can do their thing. But most of the time it'll be like douches with acoustic guitars because Fairhaven. So it'll just be like one dude with a guitar after another lining up to perform at open mic.
Honestly, that just sounds like at my community college where there's a.
I don't think I went to any at Fairhaven, but I remember like somebody I won't name them here, but like basically like somebody among that group in our dorm like mentioned he was like, yeah, I actually walked past one of those open mic nights as it was happening, and there were like 6 people lined up tuning their guitars.
Really?
Okay, that kind of reminds me of the community college I went to. Like for some reason, like every freaking single lunch, like during lunch hours, this one guy would constantly play the piano, like, and he would just play it extremely loud instead of playing it normally. And it's like,
That can happen, yeah. And
also,
in the
like-
Fairhaven Commons, there's a piano, and sometimes people play stuff like to Xanarkand on it, which is cool.
Like this was the guy played he played Hyrule Field from Ocarina of Time, but he played it way too fast.
Uh-oh.
No, Ocarina of Time. Ocarina of Time. Dun 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 dun. It's like Jesus Christ, slow down.
What does that sound like? That's not like da, 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 da.
Hyrule
No,
Field,
No, I know, but it's like when you were singing it super fast, it sounded like a different game for a second.
kind of did, but
Maybe Majora's Mask.
No, it's a different game. Oh man, I can't remember.
oh well, Majora's Mask is
I mean,
That's a
Terminal
jam,
Field.
dude.
I mean, Terminal Field though. It kind of sounds similar to Hyrule Field, except for the beginning.
I mean, dude, the best jam from Majora's Mask, it was on my Retroband list, is the Stone Tower Temple from that game.
Because
What a
you were
jam.
very stoned by it.
Dude,
Speaking of Fairhaven.
the song of healing is actually really easy to play on the piano.
You know what else is very easy to play on the piano?
What?
C major.
God damn it. Okay.
I think there was a point where I kind of learned some of the Ocarina songs from Ocarina of Time on the trumpet. Once you like know what notes correspond to the buttons in game.
I remember playing.
I could probably play if I had my trumpet and had like my ability back. Like I could probably play by ear the Lost Woods theme.
Your ability back. That just sounds like you're in like a video game you lost. Like it almost like you're trying to get your
Well, you know what I mean?
It sounds like Symphony of the
chops,
Night. It sounds like
The
Symphony of the
chops,
Night,
bro.
where you just lose all your weapons from the beginning of the game.
or Metroid.
That's what happens. Play trumpet for a while. Just like all your stat buffs are gone, dude.
I remembered
But-
in high school, like, I remembered like, Sean, Nick, and I were all in the same class, and I remember at one point I played Galaxy 2's what's it called? It's the second mission in the first level of Galaxy 2. It's like Stargate. No, not Stargate Galaxy. It's like Sky Station Galaxy. That's what it is. And it goes like da da ba bum ba ba da dum bum 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 ba ba ba. That song, like the trumpet, is actually I think the correct not correct, the appropriate instrument to use because I believe that's what they actually use for the main theme, in the song. So, it was actually fairly simple to replicate, except for the very high notes.
I mean, if you're a trumpet player in high school band, you got to learn some of the classic trolling songs. So, like, I learned how to play the Jeopardy theme on trumpet.
Sean played the
I
saxophone one.
would just start playing it like on trumpet whenever we had like time to kill. Like, there was one time when we were warming up to practice a little bit of a marching routine before the football game, which was not on my own campus. But anyway, we had to like practice marching and stuff. And I just like started warming up. I just started playing the Jeopardy theme, like going do 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 as like we were waiting. And our band teacher just looks at me, he's like, "Kyle, will you knock that off?"
Wait,
So
didn't
good.
Sean do that too?
I think so, a little bit.
Yeah, he did. Except I don't think our teacher minded.
Our teacher was a little more carefree, but really strict when it comes to actual practicing.
Dude, yeah, like
Mine could be like that
crap.
too. Yeah.
We like our band teacher was so funny and
perfectionist.
infamous. Like we, as a band, like it started like in sophomore year for Carl and I, literally, and it's still going on to this day. A whole quote board for our band teacher. Basically, whatever
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I forgot about the quote board.
Yeah, whatever he says, we found funny, we will put it on there, and then at the very end, like I think was about the time when we were graduating, or like junior year, he would be like given the book. It's like here's a book of all your quotes, and he would just like open it up during. It's like I don't remember saying this, and all this stuff. Like it was hilarious how much we kind of like quoted him so much on. Oh, my battery's red.
I remember telling him, like telling the teacher that I had perfect hearing, like perfect pitch hearing, and he tried to test it by literally kicking the floor and making a screeching sound with it, and telling me what is that, like what note is that? I'm like, what? That's how you test people if they.
Actually the tuba player in my high school band, that he was like 2 years younger than me, but yeah, he had like that sense of pitch that it was like that great that he could like tell you the note that was like the fire alarm of the school, or like so he had like a squeaky music stand and mess around with the squeaky and he'd just be like, oh, that was a C sharp. He just like casually just like pointed out.
I would need to practice a bit more, but I believe I could. But I believe I do have perfect pitch hearing, because I do remember like back in, what was it? Back at Western, like at the university?
Yeah.
I remembered like I was with the CS group, and this one of them was a guitar player, and he wanted like everyone in the car to jam out to it. And then casually I was like, that sounds like a B flat major. I'm like, and then he was like, immediately he stops talking and he's like, yo, you know?
That's kind of funny.
Yeah,
I mean, the
like,
thing about B flat is like the tuning note, though. So that's like that's a note I've heard so many times that a B flat is that's a B flat right there. Like that's not a difficult note.
Oh yeah, that's B flat. Yeah, that's right. Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, but I mean, but the thing is that, you know, on average, probably the average person probably wouldn't know that though.
No.
That's the thing.
No.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, but B flat is like a note that I've trained my ear to recognize because it's like the tuning note that we used in band every day for years.
All right.
For me,
B flat.
it's
And I can recognize the sound of like certain basic guitar chords because there are some that are super commonly used in a lot of songs.
For me, it's neutral C, it's middle C on the piano. Because that's where you usually start the scale. Like you would do you would play an octave on both hands. And I use that as a reference for most.
If you're a guitar player and you want to write a sick song, all you need to do is C, G, A minor, F. That is like the most common chord progression in so many songs. Or ones that are very similar to that, like a G, D, A minor, C, I think. Like that's like Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd is that chord progression. And a lot of songs use a similar one.